What's up, y'all? We run across this somewhat randomly, and I've been trying to get a video of it to show you what I do in case there is a top pin and or spring stuck in the top chamber. Once you go in and you notice something weird and you look in there and you're like, hey, wait a minute, this is not, it's missing a top pin, and then you go try to put a spring in there like that, and then you can see the spring does not go all the way down. That typically means that there's a top pin that is jammed in there, or a spring that's broken, causing it to jam in there. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this out. Now really, if it's to that point, it's best to just drop everything while you're working on this. And we're going to drop out all these springs right here. Just get out of there. We're going to keep the good springs, but we still have that one, and you can see if you do this. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Like doop. So typically what I'll do is I'll try to get it free by like kind of going in here and wiggling, and sometimes that works. Sometimes percussive maintenance will do it, shore it out, but sometimes it will not. So what do you do when you can't get it out from this direction? Well, you could pull this whole cap, or you could do the little trick, because sometimes that cap is not so easy to repin back on. You could get you that 1/16 inch 1/16 drill bit, which I had sitting right here, but now I don't see it. Where did it go? That was what you heard fall on the floor right at the beginning of this video. And to use an overly large drill to do this, it makes sense. So let's get that. See, that's one problem with using an overly large drill, is it won't clamp down on the non-hex shank 1/16 inch. So let me go get my not so large drill for this. Okay, a little bit smaller drill for this. Good one. All right, so now we need to just put a tiny hole in there. Now you could do all sorts of, professional measuring or whatever, but I usually just kind of eyeball it and just like take the plug out, put that in, see how it recesses, and find a Sharpie, like here for instance, and then just kind of line it up as close as possible. You're using a pretty small drill bit, so you have a little bit of flexibility in there. So it's right about there. All right, and we'll just simply drill a hole, and it'll push it right out the top. Now you may be saying to yourself, Jason, you just put a hole. Okay. I don't know where the pieces went that was in there, but let's see if it all came out. And I just didn't see. Yep, it all came out. So now that it's out, pretty easy. You just take a super thin wafer, all right? Instead of, you know all these little 15 thousandths wafers that you never have a use for over here in the pinning kit. Well, and just they're just there. Yeah, you're going to want to just drop that down, just like that. Let's bring our follower in from behind. And we will, these Marks cylinders are kind of an oddball size. So we got the pin down there. Now we're going to put a spring in right on top of that pin, just like that. And that's going to push that wafer flat. And then we're going to come in with the top pins and drop it in there. So once we get it all keyed up, you will see, or you should see, the little wafer sitting right there on top. Now, yeah, you could get a little bit more exotic if you really wanted to, and fill that in or whatever. Whatever. Maybe put a drop of, I don't know. You could do whatever else. There's going to be people out there that are going to be like, that doesn't hold up. That's a hack way to do it. But listen, I've done this a lot, and it's a pretty common thing to run across. So I've never had a issue with it. What are we going to call it? Unspringing? Springing apart. So that is how you fix the problem of a stuck pin in the top chamber of a mortise cylinder. There we go. So yeah, just drill a tiny little hole in there, put you that wafer in, and you know, let's key it up. I'll be right back. This particular little guy is only a 4-pin, so in a 5-pin or 6-pin situation, if it's not like a master key thing or whatever, you may be able to get away with just dropping a pin. I hate to say that, but you could if you had to. It's not advised. And with a 4-pin cylinder, you really can't afford to do that. So this is one of those things where you do have to have the right follower for the job. So we're gonna try this one again. Push this through, and you can see how the tip of the key. I already told the customer that's gonna probably be a problem for him, but he didn't want to believe it. So that's his problem at this point. But as you can see, it should be sufficiently okay. Pretty okay. It's pretty damn okay. Anyway, that's how you do that.